go get them again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Frédéric Malle, one of my favorite niche brands of all time, and this is from their Desert Gems collection, and my first bottle of the Desert Gems collection in my collection, which is called Promise. It's the cheapest one of the bunch, but we're starting here in 2025. If you do remember, and you've been subscribed to me over a few years, you may remember that I sampled many of these a few years back, but I never sampled Promise. So it is a true blue first impression here today, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a Rapillon Frédéric Malle collaboration, and it gets many from the Gems line. Obviously, it's more affordable, and it has really great reviews online. So let's open up my bottle. The box it was in the purgatory. So I got a couple malls in the purgatory, and sometimes when I get things from Facebook groups, which I did here, I just put the box away because I have not enough room there. So the boxes take a lot of, when you take them out of the box, it's kind of easier. But I do have the box of this. It's like a gold sleeve and things like that. So kind of like this one, but basically a little nicer, I guess. Desert Gems line is from what and I also have a sample of the newest one, Hope. So there is a sample of that coming on the channel in the next 2 months, give or take. It is in the queue. It's on my desk, which is a good thing. There's thousands of samples that are just mixed and matched somewhere else, and then I have a couple sample boxes here and there, and I kind of, once it's on the desk, it's probably going to be done this year, which is a good thing, depending on, of course, my time. So going back to Promise here, and of course the Frédéric Malle line, which I took out this is my collection. I'm kind of surprised that I don't have that many. This needs to be unboxed, so it is from the purgatory, but it was over here somewhere because I bought it in 2024. These are mostly 2024, 25 purchases because the purgatory is full. But it's getting better now. It's looking a little better now that I'm doing a lot of unboxings. But Muscravageur is one of the first Frédéric Malles that I purchased. I think it was Bigarade Concentré and Muscravageur together as a 1-2 punch. Then I went to New York and I got L'Eau d'Hiver, which is another Jean-Claude Ellena fragrance, which is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I have to unbox this and kind of, I think I want to do a re-review or like an unboxing, but also like just kind of get into some of these that I've purchased. I've purchased a backup of Pulp, because I hear that's on its way out. I bought a backup of Virgin Island Water, which of course is also a creed that I use a lot. So there's not much left, so I got backup of that. But let's get back to Promise. Now, if you're new here, welcome to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host, Mark. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, much appreciated. And if you are an old subscriber, welcome back. Much appreciated if you hit that like button as well. Merci beaucoup to all of you for your support on the channel. Some of you know, I'm all over the place, high-end niche, indie fragrances, brand new designers, old designers, men's, women's aisle. It doesn't really matter. I'm a big fragrance head. And this channel, if you're new here, is basically, it's a perfume head that likes sharing. That whole idea of me coming on YouTube was just about putting out content, just another voice. That was it. And it's still in 2025, a long time ago. It's been a few years now. The channel hasn't changed. People do, offer me stuff and that sort of, no. I can buy these things. Obviously I got a partial of this, which is like 70% full, which is perfectly fine with a collection like mine. That's all I need for a fragrance like this. I hear it's a bomb, so shouldn't be too bad. So let's take a look at the note breakdown. Let's take a look at the nose, of course, release date, pricing, all that good stuff, and then we're gonna smell it. So let's take a look at the notes. At the top we have apple. Apple is a note that, if done poorly, especially, like, I like saying this in a lot of fragrance reviews where apple is utilized. A lot of brands kind of just leave it alone, like leave it by itself in the opening. Apple kind of smells pretty bad by itself. A lot of the synthetics that are out there that try to imitate apple just Don't do, there's a couple that are good, but you kind of have to anchor it somehow. And I'm assuming that Apion knows this and will surround it very well with a lot of great notes. He is a master with spices. I see pink pepper in here. I see an herb. I see rosemary. I see saffron, and I see cloves. So right up his wheelhouse as far as the introduction. In the middle, we got rose. I think this is compared a lot to Portrait of a Lady, which is around here somewhere. Another rapion. And in the base, we got cypriol oil, we got patchouli, we got castoreum. So we have an animalic feel, labdanum and ambroxan. So we're missing oud, which a lot of these desert gems, if not all, have oud in them. So I'm assuming the suitable replacement would be the cypriol oil with maybe a little bit of patchouli and castoreum and labdanum. So the back end of this fragrance is maybe going to supplement that we're going to see. We do have the saffron and the rose, which is also Middle Eastern notes, which are, you know, the oud saffron rose combo. This was released back in 2017. Of course, the Nose Dominique Rapion, one of the best in the game. Great nose. Somebody that would be on top of my list as if I started a new brand and I wanted to have an in-house perfumier. I'm surprised no one snatched Mr. Rapion up. He does a lot of, well, a lot of these perfumiers like Cresp and that, they kind of recycle a lot of things that they do, and even Elena and stuff like that. But if it's good stuff, you're okay. I'm sure you don't run out of ideas. Now, looking at pricing, this one is the cheapest one of all. I think this retails around $295 to $470 USD. So the Desert Gems line is very, 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 very expensive. And this is the cheapie, I think, out of the whole line. At discounters, you can find it for around $280 to $350 for the big boy as well. So if you do shop around, you can get a fairly good discount. And that's the approximate, right? Discounters, you never know, right? I can't have the pulse on all discounters and things like that. So just keep an eye out. For me, my go-to for fragrances like this, I've kind of learned my lesson with uber expensive fragrances. Things like Jubilation 40 that I just bought. Among other really expensive fragrances. I really like going on the Facebook groups, and I do have a couple people that are, you know, that I trust and are great for me. And, you know, partials are fine for me, right? If I get the full presentation, I'm kind of a stickler like that. I don't want a decant. I want a full presentation. You give me 50% of the bottle, 40%, 30%, depending on the fragrance itself. And I got a heavy discount, so I'm happy with that. So let's get into it. Let's delve into Promise. We're gonna put it on strip first. Obviously a fragrance like this, at this price point, this is probably not the best way of testing. Don't test it on this and then buy it or blind buy it, kind of like I did. I blind bought this sucker, so let's hope she's good. So we'll put it on strip first. It should be good. And that's where blind buying, rolling the dice, helps when you have this kind of experience like I do. So Promise, my first Desert Gem. Oh, that's cypriol. Not hard. Oh, this is going to be a beast, I think, right? I haven't even put... Oh, this is good. Okay. Oh, yeah. That green apple pops in here. Rapion did well. Yeah, the spices are there. It's dark. The apple has like almost like an apple cider feel because of, I think, the cloves. It kind of gives it that warmth. But the apple also uplifts the fragrance as well. I'm getting a little bit of rose, but I'm also getting a lot of cypriol. This is cypriol oil will replace, it's a fine, suitable replacement for oud, I would say, if it's used well. It'll give you some smoky, some earthy ideas. It will give you some woody ideas, of course, as well. It's very dry in this fragrance. Yeah, so the apple smells kind of like apple cider, and I think that's because of the mix with the cloves. The cypriol gives you that dry, earthy, rooty almost kind of thing going on. Labdanum's giving out a leathery aspect as well. Ooh, I think the rosemary also plays a part with the rosemary and cypriol will go well together because you're kind of going to get that greenness in that. Yeah, it works really, really well. But it has a lot of earthy qualities, which could be cypriol and patchouli, give or take. So ambery, leathery resin, of course, with the cypriol, the earthy wood, smoky, even ashy, kind of very Middle Eastern-like, 100%. Lots of body to this, warm, comforting, complex already off the bat. We're not going to put too much on. Right, I skipped a couple sprays there. Oh, yeah. This just jumps. This is going to be... Oh, the house is going to smell like promise. This is exactly why you spend the money that you do on some fragrance brands. And this is where, you know, as a fragrance reviewer, a lot of you know me, but the ones that are new to me, they're like, oh man, this guy bashes a lot of $300-400 fragrances. Like, he hates everything. Are you comparing this to another 400, like a Mind Games? Are you kidding me? Are you going to buy a Mind Games over this? Really? They're playing Mind Games over there. But that's why I'm so, I guess, judgmental, because I know what kind of products out there. And this is the new discovery to me in 2025, which shame on me. Shame on me. Very Middle Eastern, like warm. This is beautiful. And the rest of the Middle Eastern line that I have smelt are all excellent. This is very much a 10. Unless this thing drops off the cliff in regards to, I think, you know, the complexity is just going to continue to throw itself. Rapillon here made a Middle Eastern fragrance without technically oud. It's not a note breakdown. And replaced it with warmth and darkness that oud would give a scent. Like that air of mystery that oud would give to a Middle Eastern fragrance. And he utilized, and this is where a master perfumier kind of, you know, that term gets thrown out, like people talk about Bish being a master whoa. Whoa. This is where you see talent. Like, once you get into this thing, you're 10 years in, you've smelled thousands of fragrances, maybe 10,000 or more, 100,000 or more fragrances. You're going to start seeing, and I'm hopeful that it won't take you that long to start seeing talent, right? It's not about the compounds. It's not about the materials. It is, but it's not. There is something to be said. You know, there's some of these Middle Eastern brands that, you know, they say they use the most expensive stuff. You know, you see that in note breakdowns, right? No, I prefer, because I know talent trumps great materials. If you don't have a talent, you know, of course there is going to be some things made with just great materials that'll just smell great. It just will. But if you have somebody that knows how to blend textures, volumes, things like that, Rapillon is like one of the best in the game. And this is where I would put my money more on a perfumier than materials. That's the most important part, right? You need kind of both. You need the talent to kind of, but he's one of those that even if you cheapened out, I think he would find a way of doing things. And I think this is where, I'm not saying Frédéric Malle cheaped out here, but I feel like they gave the idea of like the other more expensive ones and made it cheaper in cost, but at the same time, the quality's up there, and dare I say maybe even better than some of the more expensive desert gems, because he used multiple pieces to give you that imagery. And that's where Master Perfumier comes in. Like, you can use, you know, I always use this grapefruit note that everybody's using a grapefruit note, right? There's probably, you know, dozens and dozens of grapefruit materials that perfumiers can use, but there is some master perfumiers that's just not cutting it. I need some tartness. I need this. I'm going to add this. I'm going to do this to make the grapefruit a little more interesting. So this one's centered around the cypriol oil, I think, personally. The rose is there. It's peeking through. It's doing its thing. But I think it's centered around the cypriol. I think rose is in there as one of the primaries. Labdanum is one of the primaries. but CYPRIOL's doing the heavy lifting for the darkness of the fragrance. But Rose is doing that contrast. The Apple's doing the contrast. I think Apple is a outstanding note in here. And again, like I said, like you got to hide that note. I don't even think like he hit, like there's, you know, the Apple's not all alone by itself here. But it's probably one of the better green apple notes that I've smelt in a while. Now there's castoreum in this fragrance. I don't, and again, this is just an unboxing. It's, you know, whatever time I'm with you here, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm not going to smell everything. So castoreum in here, I haven't felt it. So in the beginning, I'm not smelling anything animalic, at least not yet. Castoreum can give you several other facets than just that. But, you know, if you're looking for that stank or that skank out of the castoreum and you want my suggestion on this fragrance, am I smelling it in the up top? No. It's more CYPRIOL oil. Yeah, so at the end of the day, promise is promising, very promising. 10, absolutely. It's theirs. It's there to grab it, basically. It has to lose it with more testing, of course. Like I don't give scores on unboxings. This is not fair. But if I had to give it a score, this is a 10. It's a 10. And I feel like things like longevity, projection, I don't think it's going to have any issues with that. Right off the strip, this thing jumped. Complexity, it's not going to have any issues. There is going to obviously be versatility issues. I don't think this is the most versatile fragrance at all. But, you know, this is, you know, I just did a samples on Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton. You know, the very much the holy grail of a lot of fragrance heads out there, which is fine. This, dare I say, kind of destroys that. And, you know, I gave that one a 10. This is a 10 plus. No, there, you know, you can give 10s. I'm not one of those that, oh, there's got to be only one 10 or there's levels to this thing, but this is a good 10 here out of unboxing. And what I love about this fragrance is, I'm kind of sad because spring's coming around the corner, so this is probably a bad time to unbox this, but it's nice that I'm finally unboxing my stuff. So now I can go in lists. Now I can actually wear it. But what I love about this one, when I'm smelling this, the one thing I'm really grasping onto right now is Rapion's talent. Tons of different materials being utilized to make me perceive that I'm smelling an oud note. Now, I could be fooled. There is an oud note in here. Sure. The note breakdown, again, I'm not doing heavy research on unboxings. I don't think that's worthwhile of my time. Unboxings is just get that content out. And you could say, Mark, you're kind of, you know, I do other fragrance reviews, like test drives and things like that, the sampling samples that I put a little more effort into it. It's not like I'm lazy or anything. It's just, this is what it is. It's unboxing. I think this could be a good reference point for CYPRIOL oil. First of all, if you want to know, like it's a complex scent to try to dig, and if you're very much going blind into it, but if you do your research, if you Google what CYPRIOL oil smells like, this is a really good reference to it from what I'm smelling. And it's not like a note that's not in a lot of fragrances, so you can find it somewhere else for cheaper, probably, most likely. Yeah, this is well done. Warming, comforting, daring, unique, yeah. In its own, I think the apple is really that X factor right now. It's staying put with the CYPRIOL and the labdanum and the rose and the patchouli. Ambroxan, I'm not feeling any of that. Castoreum, neither. Rose, I hear that this is a portrait. There's probably a little piece of this that's rose, patchouli based, and maybe some of the spices in that. Yeah, I wouldn't compare this to portrait personally, as far as, you know, oh, okay, these are close cousins. I don't think so. Yeah, that apple. There's a little bit of bite as well. Yeah, I love this one. So now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly. Let us know what you think about, of course, Promise, my first Desert Gems in my collection. Frédéric Malle collection looks a little thin in my opinion. I have other brands that I don't like as much that I have more. You know, and I was just actually looking on my channel and I'm like, there's only like 6 or 7, you know, I haven't even talked about all of these standalone reviews on my channel. I haven't, and that's the problem with my collection and my channel is that, you know, I don't have videos on everything I own, especially some of the great ones. But yeah, I got to delve more into Frédéric Malle. It is one of my favorite brands of all time. So yeah, I can't wait to see the comments, good, bad, and the ugly. Of course, you can agree, disagree with me. I can't wait to delve into Hope, that I was sampling samples. I think my next unboxing from Frédéric Malle is not this. This is going back over there. I have a few in the Purgatory that I didn't take out. I think I have the Elena Rose and Cuir that is coming shortly. So I'm going to be unboxing. So we're going to be adding another Frédéric Malle to my channel and to my collection, of course, as well. I can't wait to delve into that. And as always, a greater pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. That did. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.